This is Ojo Emmanuel and you're welcome to the JILBOTICS Classroom. Today, in this tutorial, we'll be talking about LEDs. So now remember we used LED in our previous tutorial. So now, and I said we are going to talk about it in our subsequent tutorials. So this is it. So now, what are LEDs? LED is an acronym. You can see it is in all caps. Okay. So now it is written in all caps. So now it means light emitting diode. Light emitting, so it means it glows, just like your bulb at home. Okay. So now LEDs, they are used as indicators. So maybe an event is happening. Maybe you write a code and you say, okay, if this happens, I want to know. So you can use an LED as an indicator that, okay, if this happens, let my LED come on. So it will indicate a particular event. Okay. So the LED, it glows when current flows through them. So now when you connect a power source to your LED, it means current is definitely flowing through it. So it glows when current flows through it. But there is a particular orientation you must connect your LED for currents to flow through it. We are going to see that. Okay. So now LEDs, they come in different sizes and colors. You can see the different colors there. Different colors. So now LEDs, they are in your kit, so you see the ones you have in your kit. Okay. So they also come in different sizes. The one you have in your kit is 5mm LED. Okay. So now let's take the explanation in parts for better understanding. So now, light emitting diode. Let us break down the diode there for better understanding before we go back to the LED itself. So now, diodes. Di means two. Okay? Di means two. That is, the components has two leads. And a diode. Diodes allow current to flow in one direction only. Okay? Okay. So now we're going to look at the orientation you are going to connect your diode for current to flow through it. So if you connect a diode in a particular orientation, which I call direction, and current flows through it, then definitely if you connect it in the other direction, the reverse direction, current is not going to flow through it. Okay. So now back to LEDs. So LEDs, they glow when current flow through them, and current can only flow through them in one direction. So it means an LED glows when current flows through it in one direction only. Okay. So now an LED has two leads. What do I mean by leads? What you call terminals. I explained it in the previous tutorials that what you refer to as terminals, they are also called leads. So it has two leads, the anode and the cathode. Okay. So now looking at the symbol below, the circuit symbol of an LED, you can see it. Circuit symbol of an LED. With the circuit symbol, you can differentiate the anode from the cathode. But note, you can only differentiate it on schematic diagrams. So the circuit symbol is what represents an LED on schematic diagrams. Okay, so you can see where 2 is written. That is where you have the straight line on the head of the triangle. Okay, that is your cathode, while the other end where 1 is written, that is your anode. Okay, so now let us look at the orientation. Remember I said an LED only conducts in one direction. So what is that direction? Okay. So now direction is called the direction or the orientation in which an LED is connected that allows current to flow is called forward biased. While the other that does not allow current to flow is called reverse biased. Okay. So now for your LED to come on, you have to connect it in forward bias. forward bias. Bias. Okay, that's B-I-A-S. Okay. So now, how can you connect an LED in the forward bias direction? It's simple. You connect the anode of your LED to the positive of your power source, and the cathode of your LED to the negative of the power source. Okay, so how do you differentiate between the anode and the cathode of your LED in real life? Remember, we talked about how you can differentiate between the anode and the cathode using the circuit symbol that you normally find on the schematic diagram. So now, when you see an LED in real life, how are you going to differentiate between the anode and the cathode? It is simple. The anode of the LED is the longer lead of the LED, while the cathode is the shorter lead. So if you pick your LED, the LED in your kit, one lead is longer than the other, so the longer lead is the anode, while the shorter lead is the cathode. So you can also refer to the anode as positive and the cathode negative. Okay. So now there are exceptions. Remember I said the longer lead is anode and the shorter lead is cathode. So now there are some situations where your LED, where the leads, they are of the same length. So in this case, how do you differentiate between the leads? How do you know the cathode and the anode? Okay, so now you can use a multimeter. A multimeter is an instrument that you use in measuring voltage, current, and resistance. So it is a combination of your voltmeter, ammeter, and ohmmeter. But multimeters, they are becoming more versatile. You can use some multimeters to measure temperature and all that. Okay, so now the other method is by using the metals in the cap. The parts, like the plastic part where you have the color, is what I refer to as the cap. That is the green color over there. Okay, that's the green color over there. So now you can see two metals there that are connected to the leads of the LED. Okay, that's it. Okay, so now you can see that one of the metal is larger than the other. So the larger metal is the cathode, while the shorter metal is the anode. Okay, I repeat, the larger metal, where you have the yellow color there, is the cathode, while the shorter metal, where you have the green color, is the anode. Okay, so now there's a warning. You might want to test your LED, because I said if you connect the anode of your LED to the positive of your power source and the cathode to the negative of your power source, it will come on. You might want to try it, but please don't, because you might damage your LED. And the reason why you shouldn't try this will be explained in the next lesson. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how you can identify your LED and some basic things about the LED in a video. So stay tuned. Okay, so now I'm going to be showing displaying different LEDs. Okay, so you can see this is a green LED. You can see we have a red LED here and a blue LED. You can also see a blue LED here. You can see that. We also have another LED here. This, you can only know the color when you pass current through it. This particular LED, you can see it. This, you can see it. Okay, so now the anode and the cathode. Looking at this LED, critically, you can see one lead is longer than the other. So this lead is longer than the other. So this lead is the anode, remember, and the other lead is the cathode. So you don't need any other test for this particular LED. You already know the anode and the cathode. But for something like this, you can see you can hardly differentiate between the leads. So what do? You use your multimeter. Okay, so this is a multimeter. You can see it is a multimeter. So now this is a knob. So when you want to test your LED, you just turn the knob to the point where you have a diode sign. This is a diode sign. This, you can see it. This is a diode sign. So now you turn your knob to that point, turn it. You can see my multimeter has two probes, red and black. Okay, just positive for red, then negative, black. So now I'm going to pick my LED. Then you place your black probe on one lead of the LED. Then the other probe, which is the red probe, on the other lead of the LED. You can see the LED is not coming on, so it means we are going to try the other direction. Okay, so I'm going to turn it this way. So now you can see it is coming on. You can see that. So now it means this orientation is the right orientation, and the lead where my positive is connected to, that makes the LED to come on, is my anode, while the lead where my negative, that is the black probe, is connected to, is the cathode. So this is my cathode, this, and this, the lower one, is my anode. Okay, and that's it. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any question, you can ask on the platform provided by JILBOTIcs. We'll be glad to attend to you. Thank you very much. Bye.